Good morning, team. As a part of today's activity, we will be working on developing a report on time series forecasting. A data set is given to us. This is regarding 3 years sales that is generated by the organization. We have 36 months data, and we are supposed to answer the following questions by applying the time series analysis. Okay. The first question speaks about time series plot, and we are supposed to comment on the underlying pattern in the time series. Okay, so let me show the solution. So this is how we have solved it. So when we take time series months on x-axis, and when we take sales value on y-axis, it is possible to generate time series data. And this is a similar, it is generated by using the scatter plot. Okay, so however, this is the graph that we need to insert in the document. You just select a different style, some XYZ style, and you can improvise the graph if you want. That's up to you. Like you can copy paste this graph, and you are supposed to explain the trend. If it is observed, if you take first year from January to September, the value of sales is decreasing. From then September to January, the sales value is increasing. Again, then January to September, the sales value is decreasing. This is the trend that we are observing. It means that January to September, the sales value is decreasing, and September to January, the sales value will be increasing. If we observe during the January period, January season, the value of sales are observed to be highest, and during September season, the values of sales were identified to be lower. Okay, this kind of comment we have to make, and over a period of the time, the sales value is identified to be increasing. Okay, so year by year, if it consider, the sales value is identified to be increasing. This is what we can identify from this graph. The second question speaks about seasonality of data, and it is very important that we have to calculate seasonal indexes, and what seasonal index explains, that we need to discuss. So here by using the Excel sheet, we have calculated seasonal index, and seasonal index will be same for different years. Though we are in different years, the value is identified to be same. So if you check, 1.42 is here, and again in the January 1.42, again in the January it will be 1.42. It means that for every month there will be a seasonal index. So for these seasonal indexes, we have generated a graph, and similar to the last task, you can try to make use same style, because if we used in the last task this kind of graph, so same style of graph should be used. Okay, so from this data, it is observed that the seasonality, the season is having impact on the sales value, and the index at which it is changing, the index value of that season is given here. Okay, so by using this value, we can deseasonalize the data. Okay, so that will be observed in the next task. However, based on this seasonal index, it is identified that the seasonal index is highest for the first month, that is January, and the seasonal value is lowest during the 9th month, that is September. The value is identified to be 0.61 as seasonal index for September, and 1.42 is the seasonal index value for January. Okay, so now this clearly explains that when the season is near to the January, the value is identified to be highest, and when the season is very near to the September, the value is identified to be least. Okay, you can make your own comment, and the question clearly asks which month has the highest seasonal index. Okay, indicate seasonal high and low seasonal sales months. That should be explained. Okay, after that there is a deseasonalize the time series and explain the trend. That is the third question. So for third question, we have created a deseasonalized value. So this deseasonalized value will be calculated by dividing actual sales value with sales index. Seasonal index is already calculated in the last task, right? By dividing actual sales value with the seasonal index, it is possible to create a deseasonalized time series. Okay, so by using this time series, we will be creating a a regression equation, or by calculating the trend line of this value, it is possible to identify a regression equation. Okay, usually we develop it by using the scatter plot. We will be creating this graph. Okay, and when we have a trend line, using the trend line we can identify the regression equation. Understood? So however, the ultimate conclusion that we have to make for this third question is, does there appear to be any trend in the deseasonalized time series? Okay, this is the deseasonalized time series. For this we have created this graph, and we try to create a trend line, and this trend line has some equation, regression equation, which clearly explains that there is a positive trend. You can see that the graph is increasing, so it explains that there is a positive trend in the deseasonalized time series. In the next task, what we do is, like, we will be forecasting the values for 4th year. We have data for 3 years, right, 36 months. For remaining 12 months, we will be forecasting data by using this equation. Okay, so for this question, it is like we can observe that based on the trend line and based on the graph that is shown in the image, it is possible to explain that there is a trend. There is a trend that can be identified from the deseasonalized time series, and the trend is positive trend. As the months goes, the cost, the sales that will be generated will be increasing. Okay. So what is the difference when we compare seasonalized with the deseasonalized? Okay, that we can identify. If you take this one, this is seasonalized. You can see that when we come down, as the time increases, during certain months that there will be low sales, and during certain months there will be higher sales values. But here, if you observe, it is a continuous process. Over a period of time, the sales value is kept growing. Understood? So deseasonalized means there is no season observed here. In the last task, we have seasons observed. All right. So we just discussed that as time increases, the value of sales will be increasing. Next, it is fourth question, which speaks about we need to calculate forecasted values for next 12 months. So this is the 4th year, 37th month to 48th month. By using this equation, we have forecasted. We have forecasted the values and listed here. Okay, these are the forecasted values. So the question is, we need to generate forecasted values. So we just copy paste this table, ignore this one, just we will be copy pasting these values, and we explain that the forecasted value for each month of the 4th year are the following data. We simply mention that. Okay, so it is a simple question that asks to develop forecast of sales. Next, 5th question. Here we use dummy variable method, and we generate regression. By using the regression equation, we create forecasted values. So when we create a regression, so this is the regression we have, and by using the regression, we can create a regression equation, which explains that to calculate sales value, we need to submit the values of each month. So here January has certain coefficients. So let me show you the equation that we use to calculate it. This is how we prepare equation. Okay, to calculate sales value, we add this with all intercept values, all factors and their respective values. Okay, January value, if you are calculating for January, this all becomes 0, and this will become 149 plus 112, so that will become 262. So by using this equation, we calculate it. Okay, the ultimate thing is, the ultimate output is, by applying the regression value, we are supposed to create this table. Okay, simply we will be posting the table. Now the last question that was asked is regarding summary. Okay, after this, whatever the summary you want to write, by applying the regression equation, we have created the following thing. So you just write your own information. There is a final question which speaks about forecast error. So according to the realistic values for the 4th year, the January value is identified to be 295. Okay, here it is, the value should be 295. So when the value is 295, we can see that the forecasted value is 262. The difference between these two is called error. Okay, so the error value is identified to be 32, which is quoted less than the actual value. So now we need to explain. So based on this, we can see that it is observed that when compared to the actual value, there is a difference in forecasted value. It means that there is an error in the data. Okay, the forecast whatever the forecast we have done, in that there are certain errors. Okay, that error is this. Usually, like whatever the prediction you make, it will not be 100% accurately. You cannot generate any value. There will be certain error. For example, you might be expecting 280, even it is having very less value. Sometimes you can expect exactly, you can forecast exact value, but not every time. So it is common thing that the forecast will have forecast error. Now you need to comment how you can reduce, improve, or reduce the forecast errors. So just give a simple search, do some basic research, try to find how to reduce forecast error, and based on that you just write some 3 to 4 points on how to reduce forecast error. So this is all about your document. Add one reference and submit your document. Okay, the main thing is you are supposed to answer all these questions, and I have already prepared the solutions. By using those solutions, you have to answer all the 6 questions, I mean including this one. Okay, that's it, team. Please finish it as quick as possible. All right, I will be waiting for you. Thank you.